Welcome to X1T Gaming, and together we're going to revolutionize the gaming industry. So I'm actually kind of excited about the progress that I've been making so far. Having all this actually run. My boy was actually playing today, and I just pressed played, and then he's just going and he's trying so hard, and he went for so long. He probably did this. Maybe he got up to like 25, 30 jumps until he realized that there was nothing left. That was it. And so he goes and he died, and he's just like, that's boring. But no, I was really excited to have my little boy play. He's going to be turning 5 soon, and so that's pretty exciting to actually witness that I've created something that he's actually kind of enjoying, which is pretty nice. I might actually have to change the camera angle on this one. Oh no, I don't need to change the camera angle because I was looking at something and I'm like, oh man, it looks like there's like I can see the background, but it turns out that it has its own background. Yeah, let me put that back on and show you what I was looking at. So I was looking at here, and I thought this was like the background that was actually this. And I'm like, oh, I got to move the camera over. I still probably have to move the camera over because you can see this little gap right there. Don't tell anyone. Movie magics. So we're going to do this last little bit, and I have to watch the videos. So it says it's going to be about an hour. I'm hoping that we're going to finish this. It's only 3 lessons, and then we'll have a challenge afterwards in a lab. So we should get these 3 lessons done quite quickly, is what I'm hoping. Or 6 lessons. Sorry, 6. I'm dyslexic. Remember, I'm dyslexic. Whatever numbers that I say, you can't take it for heart. You have to take it for whatever I mean it to be. Which are just like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, for example, I was talking about the new house that we bought yesterday to one of my coworkers, and trying to talk about what size it was. And so I go to him and I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's pretty nice because like the lot size is 700 square feet." And he's looking at me, and he's like, "Do you mean like 7,000?" And I'm like, "Oops, yes, sorry, I'm dyslexic. I meant 7,000 square foot lot." And he was like, "Yeah, I was going to say, I would think that that would be you'd have like 15 story build house to fit on all that space." Yeah, just so you guys know, so the whole lot size for you Metro people, that's about 70 square meters is what I said, but in reality, the house that we're getting is 700 square meters, roughly around there. Not an exact. Um, yeah, that's kind of like the math that I use. Is you just I don't know. Okay, now I gotta actually check what the actual thing is. Just because I said that. So if I go 7,000 square feet into square meters, it's 650. Okay, so like I said, give or take. And then if I do the 700, of course, it's going to be 65. So I just kind of square footage is 5 actually. Now that I think about it. So if I go square meters and I just do 5 square meters, and that is 50 square feet. Okay, I don't get that. So 5 is 50 square feet. And then, or it's like 53 square feet. Whatever. It's roughly around 10, maybe it's like zero point 0.8 or something like that. Okay, multiplied value. So if whenever I do a square foot into square meter, the formula is 10.76, which is the difference. Yes, sorry, math. Who wants math? We're into programming right now. Okay, let's go watch the first video and try to figure this out.
Alright, so we have a really good looking game now, with all of the cool mechanics and animations set up properly. And now we're just going to add the finishing touches when we collide with that obstacle to create a really cool smoke effect. So, to do that, we're actually going to learn how to use particle effects. Now, if you go into your assets, under the course library, there's actually a particles folder. And if you expand the particles folder, you can see there's dirt splatter and smoke explosion. So we're going to take this explosion smoke and drag it into our hierarchy. And then you can see it creates this really cool puff when we place it. And you can see there's actually a little section down in the bottom right of our scene. We'll make that a little bigger. And in this menu, you can actually play, restart, or stop the animation of our particle effect. So if we play, and we can restart as much as we want, and we can stop it, and we can play. So this is just a kind of cool way to see the effects and how they work. Now, another cool thing about our particle system is that there's a whole bunch of options that you can actually change on the particle system to be able to make it do different things. So you can actually go and change how fast the actual particles move over their lifetime. So if we set the speed to be 10 times as fast, should move even faster than before. Yeah, so it's like a big... That's actually kind of cool. I'm going to leave that. So we'll stop that. So it's pretty cool. We can set different options too that we want. So we could change the colors if we wanted to. We could change how they actually expand. All of these other different options. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set the speed back to be 2. So there's all these different ways that you can play around with particle effects. Honestly, you could do 100 different things with them. I'm not going to go too crazy just because the base effect is really good for now, so we're just going to use it. One thing that you want to be really careful of, though, with your particle effects is if you open up the particle system menu, you can actually see there's a play on awake, and if we set that to true, so that would immediately create a huge puff of smoke when the game starts. That's not exactly what we want to happen. That's not the kind of effect that we're trying to create, unless this character were a magician, then it would make a lot more sense. So we'll uncheck the play on awake. So now one thing that we're going to do is actually put this explosion smoke underneath our player as a nested or a child object. So that means that it's an object that is attached to another object. So it belongs as part of that object. So you can actually see player, you can see like the character, and you can see the actual legs that control it. If we drag in our explosion smoke on player, you can see now that player has a smoke explosion effect attached to it. And now what we can actually do is when we play, we can actually like move our particle effect around. So if we restart, see it kind of starts kind of high. So we can actually go and maybe let's just set the Y down to 0 so it's at the bottom of the player's feet. And then we restart, and there you go. Now it's closer to the ground. Maybe we'll make it a little bit higher. Something like, nah, too high. 0.5, I think, is good. And then play. Cool, so that's a pretty good position. So if you watch at the bottom, it's like a puff of smoke. And it creates a really cool effect. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go into your...
Boom, mark is complete. And now I'm thinking we're going to go do some coding. Let's see, yeah, in the if statement. We don't need to watch the video for this one, I don't think. So we want to go into the player controller. Okay, in player controller, declare a new public system. So we want to declare that so it's a particle system. Okay, so we want to make it public. It's particle. Oh. Particle system. It's not a stop. Explosion particle. I kind of almost want to just make it smoke. We want it probably to be part of the game over to be true kind of thing. Let's see where it says. So in the else if the collision where you have so ground is true and then it's going to be in the else if, which is what I thought. And so we're going to put it in here. Well, they don't give you the whole thing, just explosion particle play. Okay, we're going to have to watch what he's saying. We could skip a little bit ahead.
Our player components, we'll make this a public. Player runs into an obstacle. This is where we're actually going to make our explosion particle happen. So when the player dies, we can add another line, and we have the explosion particle now. And we can actually just play the particle, and so that entire animation effect will just play as soon as it hits this line of code. So we run into an obstacle, game over happens, player dies, and it'll play the explosion effect that we have. And then in Unity, just make sure when you go to your player object, you take your explosion smoke and drag it down to the player controller script and drop it into the explosion particle. So now, when we press play, when the player runs into an obstacle, we should see a big puff of smoke. Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Boom.
So, now what you're...
Okay, so that he made it an easier thing. That's why I didn't understand it, because it's just particle play. Yeah, but we made the particle system. So basically, we put it in here, and then the coding. Yeah, here, so you guys can see how it looks like. Boom. Oops. Boom. So we put it right in here. So we just dragged it, and boom, particle explosion. That's what it created, and now it works wonderfully. Just how he told us. And now we want to add a dirt splatter. And it looks like we're going to be doing the same thing with the dirt splatter. Okay, drag the FX dirt splatter into the child object, reposition it, rotate it, edit it, declare public particle, then assign it to a structure, add when the player jumps or collides with an object. When the player lands on the ground, add dirt when he lands on the ground. Okay, so we don't need to watch the video for this. So we're going to add this as an object to the hierarchy. Okay, wait. Let's close this. Dirt splatter. We want to add it to the player. So we got that as a player. Let's see how the dirt splatter is. Do we want to transform difference? Yes, we do. We don't want it to be... Well, the duration is just 1. Let's see if I... Oh, play on awake. I don't think we wanted that one. If I go play on awake again. So if enabled, the system will start playing automatically. Yeah, so if I press play, it'll start doing that automatically. And we don't want that to happen. so we turn that off. Or let's see if I have this on. What if I do max particle 1? It was at 22. Let's go like 10. We're in the city. The city's not that dirty, or depending what city you're in. Okay, so we'll take this auto off. Okay, the thing is, it's not. Start delay, start time length, start speed, start size, start rotation, start flip. Okay. Because this one, it stops after a while. This one just keeps going. Oh, this has a start lifetime duration. Let's go 0.5 duration. What's this lifetime? Oh wait. Well, let's just do the same thing that we did before and see if that does anything. So we want to call this one, have a new public, particle system. We want to call this, they call it dirt particle. Dirt particle. Okay, and so now we just want to copy and paste this one in the same one. So we want to copy it if it hits the ground. We're going to call this one dirt particle. And then we also want to copy it if it's an object. Is it an object, or if he jumps? And if he jumps. And if he jumps. So we'll save this. And then we look at the player. We got the extra dirt particle, and we put the dirt particle there. And then we press play, and we see how this goes. Okay, he keeps on. He just keeps on doing it. Auto random speed, play on awake. Try to see the differences that this has. This one's on random between two constants. Let's put a random between two constants. Oh, it's still running like that. Yeah, so he probably tells you, does he tell you how to, no, he probably tells you in the thing. No, but I want to figure this out myself. I want to figure this one out myself. So this one, it starts. And then it's done. This one starts and then it just keeps going and going and going and going. There we go. Boom. just do. Let's change this one back to a constant, and it was 0.27. Okay, too many particles. Let's do 5. Duration 0.25. There we go. Just a little bit. That's all I want. There we go. Now let's see if we got this going. So he's jumping like that. There we go. And when he lands on, boom. Nice. So let's try again. Jump, land, jump, land, jump. Yeah, I still think it's too much dirt. Let's do 2. Let's try that. There you go. You just see a little bit. It's the city. There shouldn't be that much dirt in your city, and if there is, maybe think about getting a new city to go to. Yeah. That is, I'm happy with that. So we did that one. We figured it out without using the thing. Add music to an object. Okay, so for the main camera, select the main camera object, then add component audio source. Oh, so we could add a clip here, go from the course library. Where is it? Course library. Source files, character, obstacle, particle, sounds, music. What kind of music do we got? Okay, I want to see if I can hear from here. There we go, that's better. Okay, do you want this one? How about this one? Oh. The last one. I'm going to do number 2. I like number 2. So we got number 2. So I'm pretty sure we do the audio clip. We just drag and do that. Right? Reduce the volume so it'll be easier to hear sound effects. Check the loop box. So we want a loop. And then we want to do the volume. Let's do half. Can we hear the volume again? Is there a play button or do I just have to play here? I think I like 2.5. 2.5 good. Or 30. Let's do 30. 3.3. I like 0.3. I'm not a music person, so I don't know anything else. I don't really want to play with that stuff. But yeah, so now we gotta go. Nice. This is the he's late for work. His semi-clean place, and then you can't make it work. It's forever. It goes on forever. And then he just goes on forever and ever. You know, this is just like a rat race. This like feels like this is his work. This isn't him going to work. This is just his work. And it goes on and on and on. And then all of a sudden life ends and boom. I wonder, do we want to keep the music unallow it? doing that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, mark as complete. Declare variables for audio clips. Okay, declare a new public audio clip, jump sound, and new public audio clip, clash sound. Drag a clip into each new sound variable and inspector. So we want to go into here, and we're going to. I want to split these up for a little bit. So we got our particle systems, we got our bools, we got our floats. Just kind of make it look a little bit nicer. Have everything kind of separated a little bit. And then this one we're going to have our sounds. So we're going to add our sounds. So we're going to make these all public. So public audio clip. Audio clip. And then we're going to make it jump sound. Jump sound. And then we got public audio clip. And we're going to make this one crash sound. Okay. And we're going to save, and then you go to the course library. Instead of doing the music, we got the SFX particles, and let's hear the crash. Okay. Well, let's do the second one. It's a nice in-between stuff. So in the player, we got the crash sound, which we're going to pick number 2. And then we got the jump sound. Let's see. Which one sounds more like that? No. They all suck. Doesn't that hurt your ears? I think I'm going to go with number 1. Okay. And then we put this one. Jump sound. Okay, play audio clips on jump and crash. So now we're just going to add an audio source component to the player. Declare a new private audio source, player audio, and initialize it as player audio equals get component audio source, call player audio when the character jumps, and call player when it crashes. Okay, so let's try doing this without the video. We got our audio clips, so let's just let's keep it in the same area, and this one's going to be a private thing where we got audio source, and we're going to call it player audio. Player audio, and then what we want to do, they want to have it in the start. Oh, okay. So we want it in the start where we got the player audio. What it's going to equal get component audio source. Get component audio source. Yeah. We gotta close this one. Okay, so we have our audio source here, but the player audio, so this is going to get components going to be in the audio source, and we're going to get it from the beginning. It's going to start, and so then what we want to do is play one shot. I don't know why we go play one shot, but we'll do that. into the jump force. We got player audio. Call it play one shot. So what is this? Plays an audio clip and scales the audio clip volume by volume scale. So that's what we want. We want jump sound. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay. Jump sound, and we want it at 1. Close that up, and then we want the same thing in here where we want him for in the else if. Right, yes, in the else if. Why do we want him in the crash sound? Oh, crash sound. That's why. I'm going to call it crash. Crash sound. That's what we got there. Crash sound, jump sound. Boom. Okay, let's save. And that should be it. We might need to listen to the video. Because it's not playing. Okay, let's watch the video. See what I did wrong.
Cool. So we've added our sounds for jumping and crashing, which is great. Now we're going to go back into our player controller script, and we're just going to create another private variable for our component. So this one will be, in this case, since we want audio, right? We want to be able to emit the audio from our player. So the player needs an audio source. So we take the audio source of our player, and we'll just call this player audio. So this is the audio that plays from the player. In our start method, we're very familiar now. So we'll use our player audio variable, and we're going to set it to our audio source component. So get component audio source. So
skip ahead.
And we're going to use and then we're going to do the same thing, but when the game is over. So we're going to use our player audio. When we go back into Unity, now when we play our game, we should hear some effects when we jump and when we crash. Jump, and I didn't hear anything. What if we crash? What's gonna happen? It didn't seem like anything happened.
He doesn't.
Let's see. Let's look at our errors. There's no audio source. Oh, I made a mistake. So in player, we actually need to add the audio source because we didn't actually use one. So let's go add a component. We're going to look for an audio source. There you go. So now that we have the audio source that we're using and we have the clips that the audio source will be playing, now when we press play, that error should go away. And we jump. There you go.
Okay. There we go. So I think that is done for... Yeah, so the thing is I forgot to add the audio source component. So you need to have an audio source component in order to play audio sources. I think it would be cool to actually like learn how to create your own audio sound effects. Okay, I think we might call that for a day. We finished, complete, and our game is done. So that's it for this module. We're finally free. Just looking at what the next stuff is. Okay, so now they got a challenge that we got to go through. So basically, I got to download, and of course, it's got all those bugs that it has, and we got to fix those bugs. Yeah, bombs, balloons, and booleans. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow after work. And then we got player control lab 3. Nice. Okay, yeah, no, that's it. I'm actually glad that we finished all that. We discovered the audio and the music. That was fairly straightforward and simple. You got to put it in. So what I like and I don't like is that they have all the stuff here for you to use, and they're just saying drag and drop. How my brain works and how I'd like to do stuff is I would like to have been able to do all of the stuff by myself per se. So it would be cool to be like how to actually make these sound effects or make these files, how to actually make these music files. Then you drag and drop it. How do you make, like it says, oh, this is how you make your animator run, and I'm like, well, it would be cool to know how to actually make the animator to begin with, and then be like, okay, I have to put the skeleton, match it up to this, put it together somehow, and then it's going to work. If I look here, well, it has an animator. The thing, yeah, no, it's yeah, little stuff like that. It would have been nice to be like, oh, you got a background that's a picture. How to actually create the background? That would be a thing, even if it's just like here's an image and just drag and drop, copy and paste. But other than those complaints, I do feel like we'll probably learn those later on. If it's not through this project, then we would have to find out another way to do it. I can't be like, oh, I'm just going to make my games by downloading all this content that is already prefabbed, and I just have to drag and drop. No, I want to get to the point where I'm actually making my games from scratch, and we can make our own characters, make our own kind of moves. It'd be cool to have like maybe like fighting moves that you could put together instead of just running. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do that. But that's probably high level stuff, not for right now. But yes, it is a pretty cool system. And I am pretty excited for what we've learned so far. So that's the final clip for this prototype 3, and then tomorrow we will go on to a challenge, a debug challenge. See see what I learned, to see if I actually learned it, see if it's still in there. I'm probably going to need my cheat sheet. um, yeah, it's hard for me to remember all those things, but I'm at the point where I know what they do when I read them, which is really cool. Because before I was just looking at like a whole bunch of words, and I'm like, I have no idea what this means. Like, it was like I was trying to read German or something, or what other Latin language like French or Italian. I'm like, I know what these letters are. I know what some of these words say, but I have absolutely no idea what it means. uh, and it's kind of cool where it's not just math. Like, there's like a little bit of math involved, but it's more like trial and error per se. Um, yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of wording, a lot of words, and you put like these words in these things so you only have one number for all of them. It's consistent. You don't have to keep on editing it, going throughout the whole coding process. Yeah, no, it's pretty good what I learned so far. And yeah, no, I'm getting more confident every day learning this. I'm getting excited. I'm not there yet to where I want to have my start doing my game yet. I feel like there's still a little bit more. When I look here, uh, what was it? They have like gameplay mechanics, user interface. I kind of want to get those things done. So Unit 4 and Unit 5, I think is going to be like a good starting thing that I'm going to need for it. But then again, you always have Google Sensei to save the day. And so, yeah, we'll probably do Unit 4 and 5, and then we'll start making our actual game, and then we'll do the lives. Just creating our game. Actually, I don't even know I'll do lives. Maybe I'll just do a recording for that, because it's going to be like a lot of me Googling YouTube trying to figure out. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to do lives. So you guys could show up. You guys could see the grind that's going to take. And maybe there are going to be some people who want to actually be like, hey, no, you want to use this code over there, and then I could work with you guys who actually know how to code, and we can go together, and it could be a lot faster, and it'll be kind of interesting to create games that way. Get to the point where I can read code, I know what they're doing, and I talk to you guys and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the concept I want to do. And we'll be like, hey, how do we figure out the best way? Okay, yeah. And then we all together as a team figure out what is the best for fun, do this lives. And once we get to that point, we probably can make games a lot faster for you guys. And then we could be able to get to the point where we get more quality games. Yeah. So, yeah, bear with me. It's going to take a little bit of time. But hopefully, once YouTube starts to get monetized, then I could do this full time. I don't have to work. That's the dream. Do it full time, and then it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. And then eventually, once my games start making money, then I can start hiring staff. And once I start hiring staff, then we can produce more games. And then we'll start to go and produce good quality games. And of course, once we hire people, I want to be able to give people an opportunity, a chance to be able to learn on the job. So it's not going to be only programmers that are going to be hired. I will need some. Those guys will probably be more of the brunt force, unless we get to the point where it's like 2 years down the road before I could actually do that. And I'm just rambling. I could be the main programmer. But yeah, so until then, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.